Welcome, I'm GamerMade0, and last time we finished setting up or automating our motors. So we have our rotors here, stators up top, and they're both coming in to our assemblers for motors. So now we need to get the frames going, and that part I'm going to have to make a decision on whether I need to keep on the same level or I'm going to need to move up. We could continue to move out a little bit. We're coming over to this rock area over here and starting to build up it. And so let's go ahead and add on some foundations and see what that looks like. Missed that right there. Anyways, there we go. This is going to push any of our resources that we're going to produce back some. I don't know if that's a problem. It's not like we don't have room to go back. So let's go ahead and do that. I like to keep some uniformity. And then later on we'll add some walls. Let's see. This one we go out 2 more because of that bottom row. So we can do that here too. And now, like I've said at one point, I don't really want to go too much out on the lake, but the more I build this, the more I might end up doing it. I don't know if I'll leave some sort of a patch in the center or something like that, but anything that I do with leaving the lake open would be more for aesthetics than anything else. Alright, before we start adding on too much, I want to check on what we have available to build. I'd like to get out to another exploration video here soon. Alright, so this is what we were really going for. So we need to get these producing the heavy modular frames. We need to get computers going, so that way we can get the fuel generator. And then we can make them by hand, but that's a pretty big pain. Otherwise, we have pretty much everything else. I mean, there's still more to be had, but there's other options or milestones, there we go, that we can unlock. For example, we haven't done Caterium yet, so I may need to go out exploring for Caterium. But one thing that I'd really like to get before we do is the jetpack. Once we get the jetpack, and especially the gas mask, that's really going to change quite a bit how we can do our explorations, and I can actually get some really good exploration videos going. That's what I'm really waiting for right now to get this going. So let's see if we can get into that. So really we just need the frames going. I'll just come back and just take a quick look. So the modular frames, so we're going to need the reinforced iron plates and iron rods. And then for the heavy modular frames, we'll need the modular frames, steel pipes, encased industrial beams, and screws. So do I have encased industrial beams yet? I think I just have the standard beams. Yeah, I don't have any concrete coming in, so let's see. We have steel pipes coming up already, and as you can see them coming in kind of haltingly, we could get these going a little bit faster. So, but we don't have beams coming in at the moment. I may actually need to get the next level started. We'll need to get, so we got the motors. Let's get beams going next. Okay, so that's what the plan is going to be for today. Let's go ahead and build that next level up. We'll get the beams going, the industrial beams. I believe we have beams down here going. Here, let's just jump down and find out. Yep. So we have the pipes here, or the there we go. Yes, so here's the beams. Do we even have this coming out yet? No. And we don't even make use of the screws over here yet, so we'll have these beams probably have to bring them up. Didn't mean to jump there. Alright, let's go get concrete. I'm gonna pull up my menu. I have a lot of copper right now on me for some reason. Hey, that actually worked. Nice. I knew it was close. I'm just going to take all at this point. We're going to need a lot of concrete. Oops. There we go. Alright. So this is our tower. We'll just need to add some walls eventually. But let's go ahead and build out this way. If I can get a good rhythm... Nope. I lost it. I was saying if I could get a good rhythm, I can get that going. Here we go. I'm actually clicking a couple of times to make sure I get it. Okay, now I got into the rhythm of clicking once. Alright, the game got a little choppy there, so I slowed down. And I want to not go too far past. So now we're starting to get pretty high, and it looks like we actually have some poison close by. I didn't even realize there was poison up there. Anyways, let's go ahead and build out this direction now. Okay. So now we have kind of like the outline of what we're going to build this next level as. I think it's kind of cool to have trees right next to this. I might see if I can keep those there. Alright, a really nice thing about this too is that we made sure that the assemblers were going to fit underneath the levels that we're building. I believe the manufacturers are the same height as the assemblers. So we should be able to fit those in there too, but manufacturers, we still have a minute before we get to that point. But that's what we need to start producing computers. Oops. Getting glitched out there for a second. Oh, I thought I missed that. Nope. Anyways. Yeah, and that's been the weird part about this game. It's still in the alpha, or the early release, so they're not done working on it, but like this is the only game I ever have problems where things pause, and it's definitely a demanding game, but even if I bring the graphics all the way down, it still has moments where it just like pauses. And in fact, the graphics are a little bit reduced, so that way I could even record. But even before then, like whether the graphics were on the high end or graphics were reduced, it still didn't change the fact that it would still pause and freeze at moments. It didn't seem to change the frequency at all either. But that's alright. It's not too obstruct. It doesn't mess with the game too badly. Alright, let's see. Do we bring this back over? Not for another couple of spots. Almost out of concrete here. Especially once I get these industrial beams going, because we'll need concrete to create those. Yep, out of concrete. We'll really need to get some more concrete going. Anyways. Missed that. Oh well. Alright, let's see how much more concrete we have. Let's come down here and take a look and see if there's anything we can do to speed it up a little bit. Otherwise, the next time I come to grab concrete, there won't be much left. So now I believe I should be able to get a second one going, but I'm not positive. We have 45 per minute, and this thing can do 60 per minute, so 2 will increase it, but it's not going to... It's not going to, they're not going to run at max. There we go. Just click control so it would line up here. So then all I really need to do is add a splitter. I might as well just run around real quick here. And then add a merger. Make another line here. I might need it. Alright. One thing I should probably check on is see if I have a those power slugs and any of the energy shards, and see if maybe it's worth increasing it. That would help out, and we might be able to get maximum pull out of those constructors, and that would be pretty helpful. So, and this might be worth it. It's generally the only thing I use those for, the energy shards, because I feel like you can just add on more buildings for whatever you get, but you can't necessarily just keep adding on resources, or that's what's really difficult. I think other people have other preferences or other things that they like to do with it, but that's how I generally use them. Let's see, I need to go up. Nope, that's it. Let's see. Oh, I don't have anything in there. That might all be on the first floor. Oops. There we go. So these down here, I'm starting to think I'm keeping everything elsewhere, but I know I have some. There we go. Don't want those on me. We'll have to deal with those at some point. And do I have any more? 2 is probably enough for what I want anyways. Oop, there we go. There's a couple more. Oh, and I do have some heavy modular frames. I'll leave those in there for the moment. Alright, you can see that there's more bags. They're not evenly spaced anymore, so that other one's dropping bags into the mix, or the concrete bags. Alright, so 45 and 45. We're looking at about 90. Oh, because of how much it pulls. I was wondering why it slowed down. Alright, so that belt is going to need to be upgraded now. Okay, so that one can actually bring him out as quickly as possible. These are both the 60, which will be fine for this one. Let's see, can we get another... $360? I don't know if I need that much, so 90 plus 45, so 135. That's 120. Here, let's just do that. Okay. So now we already have a splitter and a merger on here, so let's actually just add another constructor. And we can just bring another line out. Now the only question is, does this line need to be upgraded? Logistics. Yeah, it does need to be upgraded. There we go. Okay, so getting 60s out of these. So the Mark 1s will get 60, so each one of these only pulls at 45, so that'll be fine. Let's get that one powered. Almost forgot to do that. And then we'll also need to set that to concrete. Alright, so now all three of these should be operating at maximum capacity. And then the reason why I left this at the clock it was at is I don't want it to ever... It'll reach a max and then stop, but this pulls more power. Ultimately, it shouldn't make too much of a difference in how much power. If it was consumed like products, that would be true, but I don't want it to really pull more than it has to, so I'm underproducing it, because this thing will max out until it fills up, and then it will stop, and then it'll go, and then it'll stop. And on the power side of things, because your power isn't a stop and go thing, it just keeps going, and if you don't have enough to cover it, that could cause energy spikes. So I'm nowhere near my maximum, but it's still a good idea to just keep a handle on that. Now eventually I might just try and find another limestone thing, or we might just go out and find more slugs and see if we can use those for some of our other buildings if we need to. But this will work for now, and then we can finish our top floor. This is already looking like we have a lot more concrete coming. We'll just go ahead and take the rest of those, and let's go get that floor finished. I like having these ladders on the side of these. These are pretty nice. I might even just put some of these somewhere where if I need to get up and I don't want to put a staircase, that might be a really good idea. Oops, missed. Oh no. I like pushed forward and I jumped over the thing and then I couldn't land on it, so I think I went just too fast on that. There we go. Alright. Now we can keep going. Game pause there for a moment. Okay. Now for the foundations. I haven't built a lot of walls around this thing, and I'm not sure if I will or not. At some point I would like to, but this is going to keep growing for quite a while, and not having walls on it sometimes allows you to move around a little bit more the way you want to. So when I do put walls up, I'm going to want to think about how I'm doing it. I might leave like just sections of walls or something. We'll have to figure that out. We're getting up pretty high now. We can see out that way. this is not the last level we are going up. We will continue to go up. See, how close are we? One, maybe two more? Oh, three more. We should be able to finish this. Alright, well, I believe that we're going to go ahead and wrap up the end of this episode here. So while I finish these last two rows, so thank you guys for watching today. Next time we'll start using this top floor here, and we'll start actually producing the I'll need to get the industrial beams going, and then we'll move on to the frames, and what was it, the heavy frames, yeah, the modular frames and the heavy modular frames, and we'll get those finished, worked on, excuse me. Probably not finished by the end of the next episode. But thank you guys for watching, so make sure to hit like, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to get notifications, and we'll see you next time. Thank you guys. Bye.